Well, hey there, everyone. More 2021 payroll in Excel. It's time to talk about Kansas. If you've done any driving through the middle of the country or from one coast to the other, you'll find that Kansas is a state that is really tough to miss. And I've spent some time in Kansas, more than, I mean, it's a good 8 hours going right through Kansas all the time. And let me say that their tax structure is not all that complicated, so we're going to talk about it today. Um, they tax the first $14,000 of wages for unemployment in 2021. They haven't updated their tax rates since 2017, so things look to be pretty consistent. Let's talk about what you need if you have an employee in Kansas. They're going to fill out their K4 certificate. It's just going to tell you how many allowances they have. It's going to be a number right here. And along with knowing how many allowances they have, another thing that you'll like as a Kansas employer is you'll need to know what filing status they check, whether it's like a married or joint or a single. And when you choose that, that's going to have an impact on how we calculate the tax rate for the employee in Kansas. So allowance, K4 allowances, and whether they're married or single status. Then calculating your tax is pretty easy. You need to annualize the wages. So you're looking at a payroll file that has a weekly pay period in there. So you would take their gross wages, gross taxable gross from their week and multiply it by 52. That's how many weeks would be in the year in 2021. And then subtract out their number of Kansas allowances that they had on that Form K4 times the Kansas allowance amount, which is this right here. It's 2,250 still. Assuming there isn't going to be any new guidance for 2021, it looks like everything's staying the same from the same booklet that was put out in 2017. That is this booklet right here. And within this booklet, after you've pulled out that allowance amount, that 2250, you'll see, which is right up here, it tells you how to do this. Yep, tells you that allowance amount for the year is 2,250. After you subtract that out from their annualized gross wages, you just throw it through this table right here. They have one table for married and one table for single, and we'll look at the annual one, which is right here. And this is just a pretty simple formula. When you convert this formula into Excel, it looks something like this. It's a nested if formula. And it just says, if the wages are less than 3,000, do this. If they're less than 18,000, do this, and multiply the residual times 3.1%. And it goes through the whole table, which was right here, for whether or not they're single or whether or not they're married. And after you do that, it picks whether or not they were single or married, whichever status they chose, and you have your tax done. And you have a pay stub that looks something like this. Choose the employee name, tell you what state they're in, tell you what their tax is right there. And you also have all your drop-down reports for your federal reports for the quarter, your federal 941 report. This is a place where you would look at that. And for the state of Kansas, when you have to file your Kansas reports, you'll get this with your Kansas withholding tax right there, broken out by month and everything else. So Kansas, not too bad. Pretty quiet state. Things are pretty flat there. I've been all the way from Wichita to Topeka to, is it Kearney's in Nebraska, right? Got to get my roads right. But if you ever go from I-70 and you go to St. Louis to Kansas City to Denver, you will have no trouble visiting the state of Kansas. Always good people whenever I go there, and everybody I've ever met who's used this payroll file in Kansas would tell you that they're all good people as well. Oh, look at this. We forgot to put something in here. It showed up in red. This is a Kansas employee, and you need to have their filing status. That's what it's telling you to do. So just remember, Payroll 2021 in Excel. Payroll should be easy, and that's what we're doing. We're making it so. So Kansas is now done, and we're on to Kentucky. Actually, no, that's a pretty easy one. And then we're on to Louisiana. I don't know what to expect. I haven't done Louisiana ever, so we can't wait to do that. All right, good luck, everybody. Payroll should be easy. Make it so.